Ding,
Hey
ding, ding.
guys, welcome to F1 or F Off, your audio pit stop for racing news, reviews, and interviews. I'm your host, Idris.
I'm Gabe. Yeah.
Well, vroom vroom, guys.
Boom, boom. Welcome to the explosive, fast, quick podcast. We're burning tires and breaking hearts. Yeah. Man, coming in hot with that intro. Damn.
Unlike, no, very much like the the sprint race yesterday, man. We'll
Oh,
talk
okay.
about that.
I didn't even watch that, so
You
you're
didn't
gonna
watch
have to
sprint?
fill me in. Yeah,
Oh
no,
yeah,
I'm. Ooh, we'll get to it. There are reasons why I'm just like getting. It's just like getting harder and harder to get enthusiastic about watching F1 now,
mm,
because it's just every single time we think like, oh yeah, this is a wonderful special thing. It's like they
yeah.
do something that just kicks you in the face
hmm
and reminds you that it's all based on greed and capitalism.
And they tell you as they're kicking you in the face, you made me do this.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
will like this.
uh, yeah, yeah, man. Well, yeah. So, um, yeah, obviously this weekend was the USGP, which, you know, there was some good racing in there, right? Um, Charles and Norris had some good, good back and forth, some good clean racing, right?
Yeah.
I think Charles had a really good, he had some good tire strategy. Obviously, Max, the comeback kid, putting out race results, in a car that, we're
Has
not
no.
sure whether or not it
Yeah.
was really should be there. Um, but I did see something that I think it was the guys from the race were suggesting that like this sort of surge of uh, Red Bull pace is sort of at the expense of developing the car for next year. Like
Oh.
they're spending a little bit more time on this one than
hmm
they ought to. Um, I don't know why. I mean, do you think maybe that's like a bid to try and keep Max around? Like it's like, hey, we'll work on the car for you, or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. I'm sure that in his contract he has some clauses that state that the car must be this fast. It must be no further than like 4/10 of a second behind the
Hmm.
leading, team or constructors championship car, whatever it is, right?
Yeah,
Um, it's quite possible.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's always impressive that when he can do this. Like, it's impressive that he can
hmm
pull out these kind of results. Um, but I can't help but feel that he's just borrowing from his future,
hmm
with Red Bull. Um, but I mean, he's trying to get his fifth championship.
hmm
So, and it's possible he could get it.
Man,
I mean, I thought maybe this was sewn up for Oscar, but like here McLaren doing McLaren things, you know what I mean?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm sure there's lots of people who are about to hear this and they're gonna say like, "Whoa, never expected this."
Hmm.
I would love for Max to win the championship. I think
Ooh,
if if he won this season, whoo, man,
it's true. Yeah.
it would be such a testament to his skill. Already, the
Hmm.
accolades he's gotten from this season are just amazing, right? Like
Yeah.
the fact that he is winning races in a car that has no business being up there, right?
Right.
The
Right.
fact that he is literally, he is it Sisyphus, from the Greek fable
Hmm.
myth of the guy who's just burdened with like rolling a boulder forever and ever and ever,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
It's literally him with like Red Bull's points, right? Like Yuki has like 20 points or something like that,
Yeah.
and Max has 280 points, or as of I think it was like as of like last a couple weeks ago. But
Yeah.
yikes! I would be I would I can't even really put into words how I
Hmm.
would feel seeing him win the championship this season
I think it would
under all these
be
odds. It would be
it would
incredible.
be it would be incredibly well earned too. I mean,
Yes, yes.
um and I think like I mean Max has more than proven that he is, a championship driver, championship caliber driver. I mean, he's won it 4 times.
hmm
Um, and I think the only thing that bothers me is that people do not apply the same sort of like admiration and sort of awe at Max as they also do with Lewis. I
Mm,
feel like whenever, especially if you're like a Max purist,
mm-hmm.
it's like whenever the subject of Hamilton comes up, it's like, oh, well, he was in a car that was dominating everyone. He didn't have a teammate that was giving. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like he dealt with Nico Rosberg for years, and then after that he had Bottas, who was also winning races. Bottas was, I would say, on par with Sergio Perez as far as the
Mm-hmm.
performance relative to their team. And I just think it's really funny that people are so willing to blame or to attribute Lewis Hamilton's 7 championships to the Mercedes like being the dominant car and not do that for Max with the Red Bull, which was
Right.
clearly the dominant car for many of those years. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's weird. But
Yeah.
I think that like clearly that car only really works for Max, or Max is the
Mm-hmm.
only person that can really extract any genuine performance out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, if he's gonna, if he, I think at this point, yeah, if he's gonna carry himself to another championship, it's going to be well earned for
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah. This would be, and also too, it would be just such a great way to shut up the haters too, of just like his
Hmm.
greatness, right? Of like his talent and his skill and acumen of just what he does behind the wheel. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
and also too, just to kind of, I don't know, I feel like I'm getting a little annoyed with McLaren. Like,
I'm getting
we're-
annoyed with McLaren. Yeah, I'm getting annoyed at McLaren because it's like they're doing. I mean, they're doing McLaren things,
Mm,
right? It's like they were in the gutters, like literally back of the grid for so long,
dude.
right? After
Yeah.
like, they lose Lewis Hamilton, they switch to the Honda engine and it's just a disaster and they're just wallowing in nowhere for so long, right?
Hmm.
And then the minute they build themselves back up and they get back into a level of success and performance, then all of a sudden it's basically like, oh, well, we've been here, so we're just going to do all the stupid mistakes because like there's a thing that happens with a team where it's like you're so successful and you're so good that you can make stupid mistakes and still like, come out on top in the end, right? And McLaren's like doing that as if they were, they had all of this, already. And it's like, guys, like you just build yourself back up
Hmm.
and you're already going to tank it before you can actually make it
Yeah.
stick. Like, congratulations, you have 2 constructors championships in a row,
Yeah.
but you haven't gotten the drivers
Hmm.
yet. And
Hmm.
that is what people remember. People remember the
Oh
drivers, they
yeah.
don't remember the constructors.
Hmm.
Like, they forget that Max Verstappen's first championship win, the Mercedes got the constructors that year.
Right. Right.
So they're different. They're not the same.
Yeah. Yeah. They're exuding too big to fail energy. Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though it's like, guys, you're clearly starting to fail here.
Yeah.
Like, let's, you can't just coast on your laurels just yet. Like, uh, you still got a driver's championship to win for your driver,
Yeah.
So,
And that's if they can still do it at this point. And so
yeah,
let's
man.
talk about the context of the championship through the race. So I'm going to put a pin in this. The pin is championship chatter. That's what we'll call it. But
Right.
let's talk about the race weekend, right, as it
Mhm.
relates to this. So really fun weekend in Austin. I feel like of the venues to have a sprint race, because we're still doing sprint races now.
Yeah.
I feel like Austin's not a bad place. It's 19 laps. It's short and sweet. I feel like that
Mhm.
would be it's a fun thing to do in a nice warm day kind of track.
Sure.
You don't want to have
Yeah.
a sprint race on a place that's it's just like cold and rainy and dreary and
Mhm.
you know yellow flag, red flag. I mean, it might make things more exciting and interesting, but whatever. Great for the Texas fans that are able to attend this year.
Right.
Um, During the sprint race, um, Oscar and Lando DNF'd. They crashed. So Piastri crashed right into Lando. Yeah.
What? Really? Oh
Yes.
my God.
Yes. DNF, both of them. Um, and then
Whew.
who also? I think Alonso also got caught up in the mix of that as well.
Mhm.
And then Max ended up winning the sprint race, right? And that kind of set the stage of just like, okay, so now we have lost, from this is Oscar's perspective,
Hmm.
I've lost 8 points to Max, like my nearest non-team like championship contender, right?
Right.
For the championship battle with Lando, it's a wash, right? But Max has made inroads again, right? And then you
Hmm.
look at the race today where Max ends up winning again because, dude, that
Right.
qualifying lap he set,
Hmm.
ooh, man, purple, 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 just
Hmm.
nasty, man. The way Max is able to just bring, and you can see it the way he drives too.
Hmm.
It's like he's holding a cat by the scruff of its neck, and he's
Right.
like putting it in places where he needs it to be. He points the
Right.
car how he needs it to be. Like watching him drive is really, really fun and fascinating.
Hmm.
He's definitely got more of like this is it's not really about like the smooth. He's not really riding like the tangent of the curve, right? If you think about any track, any racing line, right, there's going to be some
Yeah.
curvature to it, and like the line that's tangent to that is going to be the most optimal as far as like energy. I think probably going to be energy conservation. You want to follow that. It's the easiest for just maintaining a smooth consistency, right? He
Yeah.
doesn't
It's
really
like the
do that as
path of
much.
least resistance
Yeah,
through the
yeah,
corner. Yeah.
right. So he doesn't do that, right? I think a driver like Lewis does that more so than him. A driver
Hmm.
like Lando does that. Max is very much like he's it seems like he likes to point his nose more so.
Hmm.
And he will like overcorrect or he'll like correct for that, right? I was actually watching a really great breakdown analysis video that was showing the like how both Lewis and Max how they attack the same corner and it looks completely different. And it
Hmm.
really speaks to what I was just saying there, right? Like one wanting more bite in the front so that they can actually get their point their nose in, right?
Hmm.
Versus, hey, let me ride the racing line because that line is tangent to the curve and that's going to be the most optimal way to attack it from like a mathematical standpoint, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And yeah, it was really, really illuminating, eye opening. And now I see that every single time I'm watching Max drive, I'm like, oh yeah, that's why he's able to attack it so much more
Hmm.
quickly than others.
Right.
It's a signature driving style. But um, yeah, so Max wins, right? Max wins the Grand Prix today. Like
Hmm.
really, really awesome battle between him and honestly, I was gonna say him in second and third place, but then
Hmm.
Russell ended up dropping back, right? Had so many
Yeah.
issues in the beginning. And then Charles and Lewis and Lando and Oscar like fighting for the for scraps behind him. Right.
Hmm.
So thinking about and we'll come back to talking about more things from the race, but really again focusing on the championship battle,
Hmm.
thinking about how Oscar is just kind of dude, he was just like relegated to like fifth or sixth place, P5,
Yeah.
P6 for a while,
Yeah.
and thinking about that gap to Lando, like closing up, closing up, closing up, because I think the gap now is
Mhm.
14 points, right?
Yeah, I
That
think so.
that's not
Yeah.
much. That's not much.
No.
Lando could easily win this thing.
Hmm.
Max could easily win this thing if things just completely
Max could
blow
win
up.
this thing.
Yeah,
That's the thing. It's
this
like
is crazy.
if both the McLaren start shooting themselves in the foot, then
Yeah,
Max is gonna Max doesn't have any competition, and
yeah,
he doesn't have anything to lose at this
yeah,
point. I mean, the guy's got 4 championships. He's aiming for his fifth. They've already lost the constructor, so he doesn't even have to worry about those points. He just has to worry about what his points are, right?
yeah.
Um, and yeah, I think in regards to Max's performance, um, this track suits these cars specifically very well. Um, I know like we have a lot of discussion, we have a lot of talks about, making the cars smaller and making them narrower, and I still
Yeah.
think that needs to happen, right?
Hmm.
I still think that needs to be that change needs to come. But if you are going to drive these big wide cars on
Oh
any
yeah.
track, like
Hmm.
this is the kind of track you drive on because it is big, it is wide, and it is fast.
Hmm.
um and that's why it's interesting to me that like if money was no option in this sport and there was a lot big of a spending budget, and I know that teams would probably want to have like a circuit, like a big circuit spec car, and then like a small street circuit spec car,
Hmm.
um, to try and optimize the performance of their packages, like for the track. Obviously, that's really expensive and wasteful, and I think F1 is done with that. Because they, God, they used to just throw money into the wind. It was crazy. Um, But yeah, I think that like Max has gotten to the point to where he could definitely win this.
Oh yeah.
And I think if he does, it would be a huge embarrassment to McLaren
Ooh.
because it's like you guys dominated so much. You were
Hmm.
in charge. You were head of the pack for so long, and now it's just like you're throwing it to the wind. It's just
Hmm.
throwing it out. It's like you're like you guys are just dropping the ball again, and it's like you're going to enter the next season, the championship favorites, but with the least amount of wind tunnel time, right?
Hmm.
And you're gonna have that development handicap, which it's like sure you're getting the money, but like yeah,
Yeah. And
it's weird.
I'll
I,
do
I
you one
you know
better too.
yeah
I think nothing is promised for next season, right?
no
Like the new engine regs,
hmm
new aero regs, right? New
yeah
body regs. Um,
yeah I'm
Mercedes has
willing
a new power plant too, right? And it has a
uh-huh
new engine.
yeah
And do we know if that engine's going to be any good? We have no idea, right? Williams is making a resurgence.
yeah
Williams is probably the most likely team to be someone contending next season, right?
I would hope so.
I
I
would
would
think
hope
so.
so. Yeah.
I'm gonna go on a limb right now, and I think I'm gonna say Williams is gonna be one of the top four teams next season.
I would I'm I would be genuinely shocked if Red Bull is like at the like up at the top competitively. I
I
would
agree.
be
I agree.
I think that the most that they could optimistically hope for is being sort of high mid pack,
Hmm.
be sort of that like kind of RB Williams
Arby's.
territory right now,
Yeah.
Um I think that I mean I would say obviously I think the team that has I think the two teams that have the most potential for real growth next year, if I were to give three teams that potential, it would be Aston Martin, it would be um um Williams,
Hmm.
and honestly it would also be Racing Bulls. I think that Racing Bulls has a bit more of their shit together.
Hmm.
And I think they benefit from having a package that's more adaptable, more usable.
Hmm.
And I think that they're gonna have a stronger I think they're gonna have a strong enough finish in the constructors to have a good balance of development time, but also purse. So,
Yeah, that's a good point.
it would be incredible if if the sister team ends up outpacing and outperforming the head team, which they do with their second drive. I mean, Yuki and Liam, like whoever drives that second Red Bull, say they ain't
Yeah,
beating the RBs. So,
yeah,
um, but yeah, and then with Aston Martin, they're going to have Alonso, and if they give him a good car, he's going to be able to do great. And of course, Lance will, you know, I think that even if Lance is in a good car, I think I don't think he'll be able to handle it. I think he'll mess up, too much.
I was actually reading.
Um,
There was a good article
mhm,
this last weekend about Stroll and Drugovich, right? And that
mhm.
apparently Stroll was actually really close to quitting the sport last year
Oh,
because
really?
of the injury, the wrist injury, right? Like
Oh, yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
was a big
Hmm.
deal. And also too, like I think he is like long term, he's probably really damaging his wrist. I would
Sure.
assume, right? Because he came
Yeah.
back really quickly, right?
Hmm.
Like there's got to be some kind of knock on effect. I mean,
Hmm.
I don't know. I haven't seen X-rays. I'm not a biomedical specialist, but I would wager that there's going to be some kind of impact from that. Because I would. It sounded like he did not take the normal path to recovery, right? Like something
No.
that you probably need like months of healing and recovery for. And he
Yeah.
came back in what, 3 weeks, right?
Well, like look at Daniel Ricciardo. He had a similar injury at
Oh, dude.
Zandvoort last year,
Oh, his
right? And he
hands.
missed a bunch of races.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. He was out for a few months. And so apparently, so Stroll was on the way out, but Drugovich was like he was sticking around because he's like, oh, this is probably my shot to get in. But then on top of it, the article, bless you,
thank you.
the article was also talking about how Stroll is actually an incredible sim racer, right? And that he really helps with anchoring and correlating a lot of the data from the
Uh-huh.
car to the
Sure.
sim rig, right? So that seems to be that's the reason they keep him around. And we don't have to debate like the validity of that or anything, but Aston Martin aside, right? Aston Martin, Williams, and you said what was it the other team you mentioned?
RB.
RB, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Um, I really hope they don't promote Hadjar. In my opinion, they're
I
redemotion.
know.
But
I
that's
know.
what they want to do.
I know. And it is a demotion. You got poor Yuki out there, man. Like he's doing
Man.
as much as he can.
Mm-hmm.
Um
I see this curse.
and yeah, I mean like would Yuki have a podium if he had stayed with the RB? I don't know. You know,
Man.
because Hadjar's made a lot of Q3,
Yeah.
appearances and I think that car has potential to have good pace. Um and also I want to give a shout out to Ferrari.
Dude.
Okay. Because seriously, everyone, it's just like, look, guys, it's like Ferrari, you know, should they have some wins this year? Like, should they have a solid, rack of wins? Like, yeah, maybe they should. Should Hamilton at least have one win in a Ferrari? I mean, that would have been nice,
Mm-hmm.
and there's still chance, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, like I think he finished fourth. Did he finish
Yeah,
fourth?
yeah, yeah.
Or, yeah. I mean, that's one step off the podium. Like for being your first year in a foreign car, foreign team that it's like, you've never I mean, I'm gonna give the guy his flowers. Like
Yeah.
he's still got a chance to keep going. I think, you're always gonna have the chance. It's like I think everybody built up such a huge, sort of oh boy, what's gonna happen, with
Mm-hmm.
Lewis Hamilton this year, and it's like you got to lower your expectations a little bit. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and I think, next year they could very well be in much better shape.
Yeah.
Because if there's anything that Ferrari is good at, is when there are regulation changes, they're not at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They're
Mm-hmm.
never completely at the bottom. They're all, if anything, they're a strong midfielder. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? And that's like a bad year for them.
Yeah.
But even still, it's like it's not like McLaren, what they're just like, basically at the bottom and they have to like spend years to work their ways to the top.
Man.
I mean, Williams did the same thing, like
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Williams wasn't really a solid contender kind of a team. They were the last time I think they were even close was like the Bottas and
Bottas and Massa. Yeah.
Massa era,
Mm-hmm.
and they just kind of completely fell off, but now like they're working their way back. I think they've got a solid team, a solid package. I think they'll get there.
Yeah.
And it would be amazing to see Williams making podiums again. I mean, they're one of the kings of the sport.
Yeah.
It's like Williams, Ferrari, McLaren, and now Red Bull and Mercedes. Like Red Bull and Mercedes are the new boys in town
Yeah.
still. Even still.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna say one thing.
Yeah.
Like just watching the Austin race and like maybe I don't know if this is a way we can kind of close out because we want to talk about some other stuff. But this might sound mean, but I honestly do not care about the rest of the grid. You know what I
Mm.
mean?
Like
Like
how do you mean?
I just like there's so many drivers on this grid that to me just feel forgettable. You know
Mm.
what I mean? At this point, like they're just nowhere. It's like why do we even buy? Like why do we need to talk about Alpine? You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
I'm like
dude.
I forget that it's Alpine's even there. I forget that Haas is there. I only remember Sauber because they're bright green and Nico Hulkenberg had a podium. You know what I
Oh
mean?
my God. I know
It's
what
like
you
I
mean.
forget that Alpine's there. It's just like
Dude.
they're not even doing anything.
Yeah.
And there's all this push for Calapinto, and he was like, and then he's just like he's not doing great. Even Kimi Antonelli, same thing. Like he crashed. He had that crash with Carlos, and I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like, man, like Mercedes really like. I think this is the thing. I think all these teams were hoping to find the next Max Verstappen.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to find another Verstappen. You're just not going to find it.
Mm-hmm.
You might have young talent, but they're not going to be there. Young youth does not equal talent all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, maybe they take more risks and, maybe they're more aggressive. Maybe they're quicker, maybe they're, but like, you know, if you're gonna say, I feel like the people who talk about like you know, Antonelli being like the next Max Verstappen, or like, you know, Bortoleto, or what's Calipino Pinto being like the next, you know, young next Max Verstappen. These are also
Hmm.
the people say like, oh, it's a chess game at 200 miles an hour. It's just like, okay, you have to decide: is this a chess game, or is this just a young man's game? Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because honestly, like, uh, I'm kind of tired of all those like really pretentious, like, you know, titles that, you know, that F1 ad throws to themselves, that like I don't really think are necessarily earned as much as they. I mean, I think
Mm.
maybe there was a time when it was definitely true. I mean, like, if you think about the period of time in beginning in like 1996 up until 20, maybe 2012, 2011
Mm.
ish, with IndyCar, where IndyCar had the split, you know, and you had kart
Yeah.
and you had IRL, right?
Hmm.
So there wasn't really an open wheel competitor for F1, right? F1 was unified, it was fast, it
Yeah.
had all the
It
superstars,
was loud.
it was loud, but then you had in America, you had kart and you had IRL, and they were just like, I mean, like IRL only did ovals, and kart had, you know, some track, but they were struggling. Like there was like
Hmm.
nobody was really cared, nobody was coming out, and so now you have a very strong IndyCar series that's united, right? But you also have like WEC, and you have like Rally is doing some incredible
Hmm.
stuff. Like you have these other motorsports that are doing very
MotoGP.
impressive things,
Yeah.
and Formula One's over here just like, you know, they keep selling things. They're like, it's just becoming more capitalist like sport, and they're putting AI stuff all over the cars, and you know, every other race has a special livery to support whatever sponsor. And it's like, you know, not to say that IndyCar doesn't do that, because IndyCar does that, and I wish they didn't.
Dude,
But
for me, what that's a big thing for me with IndyCar deliveries are just way too much. Like I like clean, unified looks that are consistent. Anyways, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I mean, like, I agree. I mean, that's why it's like, you know, if you like, Scott Dixon always looks the same, so
Right.
you know who he is on the track, you know.
Right. Right.
And yeah, it is a little mixed up, and it's just like they have to mention their sponsors every time, and I can't say I'm a huge fan of that, but um, I think that Formula One is getting, it's getting a little, it's getting a little weird,
Mm.
and it's sort of this thing where and you know, I know this is a lot's coming from two guys that run a podcast called F1 or F Off, but this sort of exclusionary vibe that you get from Formula One fans now feels really weird. You know, it's just a lot of like, there's a lot of like, where this is the best sport and every other sport is stupid. Like what was it, the Indianapolis, there was Indianapolis had two, it was like the Ducks and whatever other college team were having some sports game, and then the Oregon Duck had a sign up that said IndyCar is just the Walmart F1.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah, I saw, yeah.
I kind of took offense to that. You know, I took
Yeah.
offense to that on behalf of the Indian and the you know,
IndyCar fans, right?
IndyCar fans and people from Indiana, because it's not the Walmart F1. I mean, IndyCar predates F1 as far as its official
It's
like
origins, yeah.
through line origins, right? I mean,
Yeah.
like, you had Grand Prix racing, you know, where like, you know, rich men doing rich things.
Hmm.
And like, but like, you know, the actual F1 as it is today didn't happen until 1950.
Hmm.
So Indianapolis, you know, has kind of has that, you know, sort of that age, um but I think that, like, I would say both, well, we can agree that both sports are doing one thing that is making it difficult, and that's their accessibility.
Oh my God, dude. Uh,
I mean,
yeah,
yeah,
this
like, let's talk about it.
yeah,
Like,
this comes hot on the heels of the announcement, everyone, that F1 TV, or Apple will be the exclusive partner for streaming F1 and
in
access to
America,
F1 in the US only
in the US.
for 2026. And it is so frustrating because like for once in my life, there was an app that I could subscribe to that did the thing that I wanted it to, and it did
Right.
it really well, and it gave me so
Right.
much content and everything.
Yep.
And now F1 TV Pro is going away. I'm at this point, it looks like it's going to go away. F1 TV
Yeah.
Pro is gone, and all that's available is F1 TV Premium. And what I'm really annoyed by online, I see people consistently saying, "Oh, well, yeah, if you just get the Apple TV subscription, you're actually saving money on F1 TV Premium." Sure, I don't want premium. I don't need F1 TV Premium. I just want F1 TV Pro so I can watch the races. $85 a year is a great value and a great deal
Yeah.
for this, right?
hmm
Even if F1 TV went up like another 15, $20 a year, I get that, fine. Okay. But like they're just gonna completely eliminate the tier, right? It's just gone. So now how do they want people to watch the sport, right? Because I can tell you I'm not gonna subscribe to Apple TV to watch F1. I'm not gonna do that, right?
Right. It just it's frustrating because I mean, television is weird now, right? Because
So
like
weird.
before you bought a cable package, right? And the cable package came with X amount of channels. And if you wanted more channels, you would just get a different package that maybe had more channels, and that was like easy enough to understand, right?
Right.
But like now it's like everyone has their own streaming service. But then also like other like they're like there are ones with they will merge or they'll split, or it's like we offer this and that. And the problem is that the thing that really irks me, right, is that these things change
Dude,
constantly,
like twice a year.
constantly changing. They're like, oh well, like now we carry this. Oh well, now we're the exclusive carriers of this, and then well now this is being sold to the. Like I thought that for a minute there, I thought that the Formula One was going to get bought by Disney because there were rumors of that happening,
Mm.
and I'm just like, oh god, like I'm. This kind of goes into something else I wanted to talk about a little bit,
Hmm.
which is that I am now in the mode of collecting physical media
Oh,
again.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yep.
They have pushed me back into DVDs and PlayStation 2 and PS3 physical copy games.
Hmm.
They pushed me here because I'm tired of having to figure out what streaming service has what. I don't like that like I pay for one streaming service just to watch one series of shows. Like both Lauren and I are at we literally just bought an IKEA shelf so that we
Hmm.
can fit more DVDs that we
There you
bought
go. Yeah.
because we're just like I want to be able to watch what I want on demand just when I can, like whenever I want, right? I don't have to pay to rent it. I don't have to pay for a subscription service to have whenever I want it. It's costing me more money. I don't have a lot of money anymore, you know?
Hmm.
So even with like the F1 thing now, like my brother Ben has Apple TV. So
Hmm.
we're just gonna give him, some money towards it so that he'll let us, borrow it, like use it.
Hmm.
And that's just gonna be how we do it. But like I
But even
love the
then,
F1 app, right? Because
yeah,
I knew my commentators, I
right.
could watch the sessions when I wanted to watch it.
Exactly.
I could watch all that back content, like all those heritage races they haven't like cataloged and stuff. Like that's fantastic content. It's great value for what it was for F1 fans. And yeah, like now it's like, oh well, this is Apple. Blah, blah, blah. I hate it.
Hmm.
And then IndyCar's doing the same thing. I don't know what we're gonna do next year for IndyCar because like they're I don't
Who's
even
got
know if
rights
we'll
now?
be able to YouTube TV anymore. I mean, I could be wrong, but
Is
I don't
it was it
remember.
on YouTube TV? YouTube was.
Yeah, that was one of them you could get, but it was
See,
also like,
why can't there just
you
be an app? Like, why can't there just be like, why can't IndyCar just have like IndyCar TV?
you
Like,
know what
pay 80 bucks a year. Like,
you know what
cool.
really bums me out. This is why I mourn the Speed Channel
Yes. Oh my, yes.
because
Yes.
the Speed Channel would
It's
have
gonna
had
have it.
everything.
It's gonna have it.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It would have had everything. It would have had F1, it would have had IndyCar, it would have had like endurance racing. It was a bespoke, specific
Right.
channel for, but this is the problem. The problem is that all of the top three companies, right? They just buy everything. And so you have to describe only to them to get all of this other stuff, but then they decide, oh, well, we're gonna get the rights to this over here, and blah, blah, blah. I hate it. I just like, you know
I'm
what?
so frustrated
Like
by it.
there
Yeah.
should be there should be a channel for sports, there should be a channel for news, like a provider for news, a provider for sports. Like I just wish like I mean maybe not news because then you're just gonna end up getting
What we
one
have now.
side of it. Um but yeah, man, I it's really frustrating, and
Yeah.
every time this happens, it just feels like a gut punch. It's like you guys really don't want me to watch this, do you? Because like
Yeah.
some of us don't have money to go to all the races, and like
Right.
good for you if you're a motorsport influencer, and
Yeah.
you're
It's
charming
great.
and funny enough that like people were able to just give you likes and re- retweet your TikToks or whatever so that you can get to races. It's like good for you, but like a
Yeah.
lot of us cannot afford that,
Yeah.
and we just want to watch the race in peace.
Man, it is what did okay, so for those that are unfamiliar, there is a service platform for PC games called Steam, founded by Gabe Newell and Gabe Newell is not the only founder, but founded the company. He was one of the co-founders of Valve, Half-Life. That's their big series.
Right.
They released this platform called Steam. The reason for it being that they saw an opportunity, and Gabe Newell really put it well by saying that piracy. Oh, let me get the exact quote because it's really really good. I always reference this, but I never have the quote.
Yeah.
Gabe Newell. Gabe Newell quote. Piracy. Cool. Okay. He said, "Piracy is an issue of service, not price." And I think that describes it perfectly, right?
Yeah.
That the reason, like I just said earlier, that F1 TV, if it went up like $20 a year, even if it went up like another 30, $40 a year, I'd be like, okay, cool. I can amortize that out across the number of races I'm watching. And oh, I have all this back catalog of races I can watch, and I'm always using it, right? I'm watching F1 Academy, right? It makes things so convenient, right?
Hmm.
But then if they make things difficult for people to access a
Hmm.
product that is desired, people are going to resort to different ways to do it, right?
Yeah.
And I would not be surprised if next year when F1 TV Pro stops in the US or whatever the situation is, right?
Hmm.
Because I think premium is the only tier of F1 TV that will exist in the US like next season going on.
Hmm.
Um, that you will see like an uptick in piracy, right? You're just gonna see a drop
Sure.
off and people subscribing to the service.
Yeah.
Maybe people might continue on because it's like, oh, I already have Apple TV, so I'll keep
Right.
it, right? And just try it out. But
Hmm.
like new signups, like I don't know, it's just
Yeah.
why are they making it hard? I just want to
I know.
watch
Well,
the thing.
I found out from somebody too. I think MLS, I think Major
Yes,
League
they also
Soccer.
have an exclusive deal with
They
Apple,
yeah, and well,
and
and
it's awful
now
apparently.
it's not even that. Like now, apparently, you not only do you have to have an Apple subscription, but you have to pay for a subscription within the subscription. So it's like you
Oh my
have to
God.
pay for
Oh my
their
goodness.
app while with also the other subscription. This is what I'm saying. Like just like part of me is just like I just if only we had cable again,
Yep.
or like which seems crazy.
That
So
seems, yeah,
like
it's crazy.
how are we regressing back to this,
Yeah.
Um yeah, man. It's tough out there, but like, I think if I can encourage anybody to do anything going forward, buy physical media.
Yep. Agreed.
Just do it.
Yep.
That's a good way to end, right?
Yeah,
Just buy physical
absolutely.
media. So,
Yep.
all right.
You
Well,
want to close
thanks.
this out?
Yeah, thanks everybody for listening to F1 or F off. You find us anywhere you listen to your podcast. If you want to hit us up, find us on Instagram, Blue Sky, at F1 or F off. You can email us at F1 or F off podcast at gmail.com. Give us a 5-star review. Wherever you listen to your podcasts, helps us out a lot. Share it with your family and your friends. And yeah, you don't have to subscribe to us. You can just listen to us for free. So, but no, do subscribe. But it doesn't cost you anything. So just do
Yes.
it.
And maybe we'll send out some physical media at some point.
Yeah, hopefully. All right. Peace,
Peace.
everyone.